How to do, y'all? This is John, and today we are talking about Rebel Moon Part 1, a new movie out on Netflix right now. And in Rebel Moon Part 1, it deals with a small town on this remote moon, on this remote planet. They're all farmers, but then one day this empire shows up, demanding food and stuff like that. And this one member of the town, who used to be a very prominent warrior in the Empire's army, just isn't having it. She just isn't having it. She kills a bunch of soldiers and then goes on a quest to help find more warriors to help protect this town. So long story short, this is like a sci-fi take on the Magnificent Seven or Seven Samurai. Okay, so getting into it, first and foremost, what I liked about the movie, I think that the visual element of the film is great. This movie looks great. The cinematography just looks amazing. The special effects, I wouldn't say the best of the year, but definitely an easy contender. This movie, from a visual standpoint, just looks amazing. And the visual looks complement the action sequences very well. Because the action sequences are also very well done. And from a visual standpoint, they all look really good. And ultimately, this movie does have good ideas behind it. It's a sci-fi take on the classic Magnificent Seven, Seven Samurai storyline. A lot of people have tried to emulate what those two movies did in other ways. However, sci-fi, it doesn't happen very often. The closest I can think of is an episode of The Mandalorian. That is it. But honestly, this movie is bogged down by way too many issues. First of all, it's inspired by Seven Samurai, Magnificent Seven. But other than the whole sci-fi element, there's really nothing new it adds to the table much. It just does what every other movie that has tried to emulate those two movies have done. And there's nothing new from a narrative level that adds to it. There's also some crystal clear Star Wars inspirations. And from what I understand, Zack Snyder, the writer and director of this film, wanted this to be a Star Wars movie. He pitched as a Star Wars movie to Disney, but they wouldn't let him do it. And the Star Wars elements, the Star Wars inspirations are pretty obvious. There's even a lightsaber in the film. So yeah, he didn't really hide the Star Wars elements too well. And also, the characters are just boring. The main character, I forget her name. To give them credit, they tried to make her an interesting character, an interesting protagonist, but ultimately, she just isn't that interesting. Ed Skrein plays the villain, however, the villain is laughably bad. Don't get me wrong, he's no Kylo Ren, he's not that bad. There was more of an attempt with him than there was with Kylo Ren. But he's bad. There's even this character who you instantly predict is going to betray them, and he does. I'm not going to say who, but it happens. And honestly, that's also the final complaint I have about the movie, is you just see everything that's coming. You know who's going to live and who's going to die by how they are introduced. That is it. And that honestly is sad. Okay, so my final thoughts on Rebel Moon Part 1. It's not good. From a visual standpoint, I liked how the movie looked. I liked how the action sequences went. And I also thought there were some good ideas in it. But unfortunately, they don't do anything new with these good ideas. They don't create relatable, likable main characters. And it's just a predictable film. I am going to give Rebel Moon Part 1 a 3. Well, that's all the time I have for today. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Please also subscribe if you're new to the channel. And as always, please remember, the Bodetsky will return.